It sounds simple enough. Adobe develops a product. Customers buy the product and get a product box. But what happens between points A and B? A lot more than you'd expect.
Hi, I'm Lisa Begeiske of Adobe Supply Chain Operations. Ever wonder how Adobe software is produced and shipped to millions of users all around the world? It actually takes the coordinated efforts of thousands of Adobe team players. Software engineers who write the code are just the tip of the iceberg. There are also packaging designers, printing facilities, manufacturers that replicate our software disks, and turnkey assembly plants that assemble, warehouse, and ship the product. And of course, our distribution channel. Adobe Supply Chain Operations has to make sure the whole ecosystem is functioning properly, because our distributors, retailers, and end users around the world are counting on us to deliver on time. Some people think that we just buy blank CDs from Staples and start copying our software onto them. If only it were that easy. Well, now we're about to show you how it's really done.
It's been a week since the launch of Adobe Creative Suite 5. Excitement is still at a fever pitch, not just with customers eager to buy the product, but also with our partners in the supply chain. JVC America runs one of Adobe's 8 global replication facilities. Adobe products for the Northern American market are fabricated here in their Tuscaloosa, Alabama facility. A new shipment of Adobe CS5 has just been ordered, and the team is raring to go. Time is of the essence. They only have 12 days tops to fulfill the order. The last line of CS5 code has been written and approved, and the gold master for the code has been released. It immediately reaches the first link in the supply chain, the pre-mastering room. Pre-mastering specialists copy Adobe CS5 software into their main mastering server. They also perform bit-by-bit verification of the software, the first of many, many quality checks in the supply chain process.
This is where the process basically starts. We are the first ones to actually take the customer data and start the process. If we miss something here, then the effect will just snowball down the line.
As pre-mastering is happening, glass plates called Glass Masters are being prepared to receive the Adobe software. Glass Masters are the first step in making the nickel stampers that produce Adobe DVDs by the thousands. Right now, they're being thoroughly cleaned and coated with a material called photoresist. Then, a powerful laser writes the Adobe software onto the glass.
The cutting room is the beginning process where they're transferring the data into pitch shapes. And they're doing that by etching the information into the layer of photoresist that's on the Glass Masters.
Bit by bit, Adobe data is etched into the Glass Masters. After etching, the Glass Masters are developed, then put through a vacuum sputtering process that coats the etched pits in a layer of nickel. This all takes place in a clean room where the air is filtered to 1,000 parts per million to ensure the high quality of the data. The Glass Master is now ready to serve as a template for the nickel stamper.
In the plating department, this is the department where we take the cut glass with a layer of photoresist, and we electroform a nickel master on the surface of that glass. This nickel master is then finished, back polished, punched, and this becomes the actual stamper that the polycarbonate discs are molded from.
The nickel stampers made in the plating department carry a mirror image of the data etched into the Glass Master. Once the stampers are made, DVD fabrication can begin. The stampers go into this fabrication machine. Polycarbonate beads are fed from this hopper into the mold that holds the nickel stamper. The melted polycarbonate plastic forms discs that retain an impression of the data in the nickel stamper. These discs are coated with a thin layer of reflective material. then bonded with another polycarbonate layer to form the finished DVD. Up to 187,500 DVDs can be produced on 18 lines in a 12-hour shift. Still, these discs aren't actual Adobe product until they look the part, and that happens at the offset printing machines, where a design is printed on each disc using 4 colors of ink and an extra security ink.
The machines behind me are actually high-speed printing lines with a maximum speed of 135 discs per minute. We can print in excess of 70,000 pieces in a 12-hour shift, given there are no problems during the production.
A quality control inspector checks a sample from the current batch of discs to ensure they meet Adobe's strict specifications. Approved discs will be sent to the turnkey assembly plant in Kennesaw, Georgia, where the final product will be assembled.
The DVDs are done, but they're only part of what goes into each Adobe product box. Then there's the box itself. It's a 3-piece construction, plus you add the media set and other inserts. For the CS5 launch alone, the print team prepared almost 3,000 pieces of artwork, including 424 stickers, 113 cards and inserts, more than 923 DVD media art files, 234 data sheets and telesales guides, and 25 posters. Phew! Adobe Supply Chain Operations has to coordinate the production and movement of each component, making sure the right number of each is printed to the proper specifications and timing their shipment to the proper assembly location at the proper time. And we haven't even mentioned how we're simultaneously coordinating the same process all across the world through 7 turnkeys in the US, UK, Germany, Singapore, and Russia, 7 replicators in the US, Ireland, Austria, Russia, and Singapore, and 25 printers in the US, Austria, Singapore, UK, Ireland, and the Czech Republic. At each step of the way, our quality assurance personnel are checking and checking again for mistakes or delay in the process. Let's go back to our story and see how our discs are doing. Tuscaloosa will send the discs to the assembly location at JVC in Kennesaw, Georgia. At the same time, our print vendor in Atlanta will send boxes and other packaging components. Now everything's starting to come together.
With a deadline looming ahead, the individual components of the CS5 product make their way to the home stretch at Kennesaw, where they'll be assembled and shipped to North American distributors, retailers, and end users.
We're receiving discs that were actually produced and shipped from our Tuscaloosa facility so that we can produce the product that Adobe needs for CS5. Receiving personnel pull a pallet off the truck and put it in the staging area.
From the staging area, materials are brought to several assembly lines that build the finished goods. From here, the finished goods can be shipped to distribution facilities and end users, or inventoried for future orders. At every step of the process, inventory control personnel keep track of individual components by scanning tags that automatically update the inventory database.
Everything is done by a handheld scanner with a system that tells them that they're picking the right product to that order. If it does not match, then it tells them there's an error so that they know they've got the wrong product. So by scanning, we're assured it's going into the right location and the system is being updated properly.
All along, managers are keeping an eye on the schedule. At this late stage in the supply chain process, any delays can fatally derail the CS5 launch.
The amount of product we've produced in the last few days, we started on Thursday and we did 24,000 finished good units. Our height of the production was on Saturday and we did almost 40,000 units. And we're now in the wind down stage where it's going to taper off and we should be done producing all of the launch product by Wednesday of this week.
As day 11 from the Goldmaster release approaches, completed goods are beginning to work their way from assembly to the loading dock. About 10 trucks a day over a 3-day period will leave Kennesaw to ship CS5 to distributors and Adobe Store customers all over North America. And thanks to the efficiency of Adobe's supply chain partners, CS5 looks ready to be shipped right on schedule.
It's amazing how much work goes into sending these products out into the world. It's the work of thousands of Adobe employees and partners all across the globe, working in different capacities from product development to sales and marketing, from manufacturing to shipping. And thanks to an efficient workflow and some elbow grease, we're able to get the job done every time a new Adobe product makes it to launch. I hope you enjoyed this look into the Adobe supply chain. Thank you for watching.